Hi everybody, this is Tony Richards, and today I want to talk to you about a critical, important piece of leadership. And this important piece of leadership is leadership character. And one of the things that I like to say is that everything you do flows out of who you are, right? So this is why growing yourself is so important, because I don't believe that you have a personal life and you have a professional life and you have a social life and you have a church life and you have a community life. You have a life, and your life is sliced up into a couple of different sections, but it's all coming from you. No matter, as one of my good friends used to say, no matter where you go, there you are, right? So that's why it's important for us to work on ourselves and develop ourselves, because everything is authentically flowing out of who we are. And so leadership character is basically made up of a couple of things, basically three things. I've got three things for you today in discussing character. The first one, the Greeks called logos, which is logic, right? So you can cast a vision to people, but the vision, you have to communicate it in a way where the vision makes sense, right? So your ideas may be out there and they may be revolutionary and they may be disruptive, but you have to find a way to cause them to be, that you can make sense out of them so that you can communicate them. So it has to be logical, right? And so if you want people to go with you, and that's what leaders do, leaders go into the future, they come back and take people with them to the desired destination. Now, if you came in and said, we're going to drive a Cadillac to the moon, that doesn't really make a lot of sense, does it? So you'll have a hard time getting buy-in. So you have to go into the future, think about where you want to go, come back, think about some time, take some time to think about how to make that logical and make sense so that you can explain it to people who are going to go to the future with you. The second thing is the Greeks called ethos or ethics. People will constantly forgive you for mistakes, but they will not forgive you for lack of character. They will forgive you for making mistakes, but they will be hard-pressed to forgive you for a lack of character. And once you decide, and this is part of the leadership work that's involved, once you decide to be a leader, you're open for judgment. So you know, the old adage of, don't judge me and I won't judge you, that goes out the window. Because once you take on the leadership mantle, people are going to judge you. And so you have to make sure that you are ethically responsible. So they're automatically going to judge you. So you don't want to give them any extra stuff. You don't want to feed the judgment machine, in other words. So you might have skills, you might be really good at what you do, and you might have good logic. You might be able to make it make sense to people, but if they see flaws in your character, they're going to run from you. They're not going to run to you. Okay? And then the third thing is pathos, or passion. So we got logic, we got ethics, and we've got passion. And all of these things make up, composite-wise, your leadership character. As a leader, when your vision makes sense, when it's logical and it makes sense, and you are ethical and people trust you and they will give you their trust, now you can really pour the fuel on, right? Because if it makes sense and they feel like they can trust you and you're ethically sound, now you can pour all the passion on it. You can pour all the fuel on the fire. You can really get this bus moving. Right? And that's where passion really comes in. Passion is the fuel and the engine to your vision. So if you can make it make sense and you're ethical, you can really put the fuel on it and make it go. Logic makes people think, but passion moves people to action. Right? Logic makes people think, but passion moves people. And it causes people to be emotionally engaged, and it causes people to want to get on board, and it causes people to want to give it all they've got in support of what it is you want to do, because your passion can fuel their passion and really get things going. So As a leader, you've got to make sure to have your checklist you've got to be in alignment, right? So it's got to be logical, it has to be ethical, and you have to be very, very passionate about it. So those three things make up your leadership character. If you have those in alignment, you'll be smooth sailing, you'll be ready to go, you'll be ready for your train to leave the station and go at full speed.